around a little bit. Whoop. You guys know what I mean. You're going to start with your bounce. We're going to turn this up. Then you can do a little bit of your own movement. If you want to do a long arm jumping jack, if you want to do a little scissor run, you want to do a 4-way jack, you guys can do that. Then we're going to get into a little bit more prep work. Holy buckets. Today is a whole new folder, which means it's a whole new month. That's weird. Oh. All right, so you're bobbing around a little bit. You guys can get into that 30 to 45 seconds of kind of hopping, adding a little bit of arm movement, but then we want to get in body check. So I do have the body bars in our warm up today. You can use the body bar in your hands. You could also use it for support. So you're using it for support in your squats here, or you're holding it at your chest, whatever is going to help you the most. Okay. To get through those squats and really become aware of how that lower body feels. So go into your body weight squats. I'd probably do 4 to 6 of them and then get into your alternating lunges. Now, at any point you need to add something else in, do it. If you ran like 8 to 10 miles yesterday and need to loosen up your hips first, do it. Okay. I'm not talking about anyone, not the person that I'm staring at, but but you guys know the drill. You will want to get in your lunges and you will want to add a lunge with a twist. Okay. You will want to get in a lunge with a twist. You're just going to find a little bit of more mobility through your hip flexors. You're going to be able to pay attention to how your hips, your core, and your knees move together when we add that twist. I do have those supported leg swings in there. They really are handy. At any point, you can come right back to it. You do forward swings, front to back. And then, of course, we don't always go side to side, so we want to make sure to get in a little bit of lateral move there. And you want to get in both sides. If at any point coming back to that, you feel it's necessary, do it. Then we're going to go down to the ground and work push up to down dog. So if you want to come right into your down dog, if you want to forward fold, if you want to inchworm, however you want to get there, press into your down dog, pedal out your calves, come back to your down dog and push your hips higher with your palms and your back. So press through the palms, get longer through your back, hips higher. Then shift into high plank and push up. Then push with your palms and push your hips up, long back. So that's how I want you to think about that down dog. You want to go through push up to down dog 4 to 6 times. After you get in those 4 to 6, you're going to drop to your knees and you're going to go into a few donkey kicks and you're going to add circles. Okay. You're going to add hip circles. So kick the heel to the sky. Then you're going to draw a big circle with your knee. And you want to draw those circles both ways. And get the other side in. After you get in those few donkey kicks and you add in those hip circles both directions, we still have about 1.5 minutes, guys. We have squat thruster squats. We have some bicep curls. And then you can finish off any of that lower body as I go through the first set. So you still have a full minute of your own work to do your own thing. Hip circles, then squat thruster squat to check and see how things are feeling. If you don't feel ready to push weight after your squat thruster squat and curls, then I want you to go back to the top. Do some more leg swings. Do some more body bar squats. You guys still have a minute here. And I want you to think that if I were going to ask you to go over and do a bench press or a barbell squat or a barbell deadlift, that your body would be ready to lift that heavy weight. If it's not, you need to do what's necessary. More squats, more hip circles, more hamstring work, whatever that might be. Now, I did a terrible job because everyone was chit-chatting before class of telling you that we need our jump ropes. If you guys have a rope today and you have it in your bag, you have an entire minute to go get it. If you don't want a rope, we're lean and mean today. You're welcome to jog up and down the room. If you really wanted to go outside, that would be fine too. Okay. But it's 100 single unders. So we're starting with a push-up side plank and then pendulum lunges. I think every person in here knows those moves, but please let me show you. Push up to a side plank, 10 total. Then you'll do 10 pendulum lunge right, 10 pendulum lunge left. One pendulum lunge is a front lunge to back lunge. You want to try to make those as smooth as possible. To put it in perspective, that's 40 lunges. Okay, 10 and 10 actually means 40, and I'll explain that. Then 100 single unders. Okay, so take your time with those, get all your reps in. This one's like a 2-rounder. You got 4 minutes. We're starting with push-up side plank. Here we go. 4 minutes on that clock. So pay attention to how your lats kick in when you guys are doing your push-ups. You should be nice and strong through that back. Elbows are lower than the shoulders, not straight out to the side. Yes, nice. Good, Megan. Give you guys a little bit of fan. Good. After your push-up side plank, you have 10 pendulum lunges right and 10 pendulum lunges left. One pendulum lunge is front lunge to a smooth transition back lunge. So front, back, that's 1. Front, back, that's 2. Front, back, that's 3. So essentially, you got 20 lunges going, one leg moving, and then you're going to switch sides. I kind of got to pause at the bottom and prepare myself for the smooth transition. I'm still sore. Doing good. You know what? My upper body feels better today. I've already done this class. That's probably why I'm sore. After you guys complete all of your pendulum lunges, you have 100 single unders. If you're not jumping and you would like to jog, you're welcome to go out and jog. How are you doing this morning? Did you end up having to go in? Did you? After you guys finish those 100 single unders, you're back down to the ground for that push-up side plank. This is our shortest set today of just 4 minutes. All of our other sets are 5. So we're almost down to that last 60 seconds. Twisted. All right. We got less than 60 seconds on that clock. As you guys go through that push up to a side plank, identify what feels good and maybe what feels off. Do you got a little kink in a hip or a leg when you do your push up or you're in plank? What's going on there? You guys got about 30 seconds. How's it going, Haristo? It's going? Okay, good. All right, you guys, we're down to 20 seconds here. You're coming up on a 1-minute rest, so keep going through your movements. If you get back to your lunges, maybe alternate your pendulum lunges. You only got 10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right. So here's what makes today's class different than any other class where I give you a set of movements and you finish them. Today is meant to be kettlebell complexes. So I want you to pick one set or one weight to complete each movement in your set. So here's our first one. I believe it's the only one that has doubles in it. You want to pick a weight that you can do 20 bicep runners plus a double kneeling shoulder press. You're down on your knees. You're going to rack one and press the other. So you're maintaining that tight rack on one side. 8 right, then rack the other, 8 left. Then you're going to maintain your solid rack and you're going to drop your butt, squeeze, drop your butt, squeeze for 8. So you want to pick a pair that you can complete all of those movements with. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. You got 5 minutes. If you go too light in the first set, don't change weights until you're done. Then increase your pair. Bicep runner, focus on the press of the tricep. You'll pull back in your bicep, but we don't push through our tricep all the time. Double kneeling press, keep one in an activated rack, press the other. Active rack means that your knuckle, wrist, and elbow are stacked and that you're not using your body to hold it. It's actually slightly elevated away. So shoulder, bicep, lat is all fired up. Then you want to try to maintain a double active rack. Drop the butt, squeeze, and lift. Uncurl the toes if that's an option. Drop, squeeze. Drop, squeeze. Work on your explosion when you squeeze that butt. If you went too light this round, you can go ahead and bump it up second round. Shake it out. Pick your pair. Bicep runners. 20. Good. Excellent core control, 1145. You got a good control of those hips. You're fine. Hold your rack, uncurl your toes. You're going to sit your butt down on your heels, and then you're going to squeeze, pull your butt up underneath you. Try not to push your belly forward, so you're going to squeeze and almost tuck. So drop, squeeze, tight. Drop, squeeze, tight. Yep. Just make sure that work doesn't push into your low back. Otherwise, you're going too far. Okay. We're over halfway through our time. If you are 1.5 reps in, I want you to finish this second round and get in a third. If you went up second round and you're like, oh crap, that was too much, drop down. That's heavy for those bicep runners. Bam, nice, Tony. Good. If you guys are feeling any tightness in that low back when you do those kneeling shoulder press, we need to reset, re-engage, squeeze your bottom half. You can't? I figured you were tall enough you could. Yeah, I can see the top of my hand. You got a good rack. It's good. Good, Leanne. All right, you guys, here it is, our last 60 seconds. Where are you at in your set? That active rack should be making that bicep and shoulder tired. I get it. Holding it active is tough. Nice. There you go. We got 30 seconds. Try to wrap up the rep count that you're in. Decide your plan of attack for these last 20. If you need the additional rest, go ahead and take it. If you want to do a little more of one move versus another, go ahead and go to it. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right, we're going to get a little bit more simple here, but you're going to have to really think about the weight that you want to use. And again, if it's too light, we can always change it. We have a goblet squat for 10, swings for 10, and that one arm row, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. So for your goblet, you can hold it by the belly or you can hold it by the handle, either way. You have 10. From here, you would cast it with one hand and then grab it with both for your 10 swings. Then you'll cast it to the ground to make sure it's nice and strong and safe, and then step it back into your one arm row. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. I want you to think about a weight choice for that row that you can control both directions, rowing up and lowering down. We're starting with your goblet in 2, 1. Here we go. Think about that same squeeze that you guys had when you were on your knees just a little bit ago. I want you to have the stability at the top that you had when you were on your knees. Solid feet, solid base. Good. You should have the same feeling when you're doing your swing, okay? Don't push your hips too far forward. Break that plane. Use your quads to stop you. Yep, then take it down to the ground, step to the side of that bell, and row. Nice. Take your time with your lifts. If you guys are performing this entire workout in green zone, it is absolutely appropriate. If you touch your yellow, that's just fine too. Good. Once you finish round 1, catch your breath, reevaluate if you should use a different weight, then try round number 2. Could you have done more and had quality form for all 3 movements? Or should you have done less? It's all about that one arm row, I'm telling you. Yeah, nice. Your squats look really good today. You're not pinching your hip and dropping your chest. Does it feel different? Good. It looks very good. Good. All right, you guys, we're coming up right on the halfway point of our time. So if you're somewhere in round number 2, you're going to have a nice amount of time to finish 2 and start that 3rd round. When you do your swings, Megan, I feel like I can see you pushing forward a little bit. And so I want you to think about if there was a wall or this guy was in front of you, we can't go past it. So it's going to touch me here. And in order to create power, my only option is to push my hips back. The further I push my hips back, the bigger this triangle is. And this triangle is called your power pocket. And so the further you push your butt back, the more power you're going to generate. And then you stand straight up and you pull your butt kind of up underneath you and squeeze your quads. So we're never pushing past a plane. So instead of thinking about driving more power by like scooping it forward and pushing forward, think about the further I push my butt back, the more power I can generate because I'm going to go back and then stand straight up. I'm going to go back and stand straight up. Okay. I want you to think about that. Just see if it feels any different. Okay. All right. I know a lot of you guys are right into the start of that round 3. You all have about the same pace, and what I see is really good work. I'm impressed. 11:45. Great job. Good. Yep. Think about that power pocket in your swings, guys. The further you drive your butt back, the more power you generate. Kettlebell stays high and tight. Keep it real close to your body. Good. You guys got 45 seconds. Better now, keep it taller. Keep it closer to your body. Now, because you're thinking about letting your butt go back, you're thinking about dropping your chest. Keep the kettlebell high and tight to the body. So it's not going to go any further than your hands can come. And your hands are like touching. So back, forwards. Squeeze butt, squeeze butt, squeeze butt. Keep that kettlebell really close to your body. Yeah, keep this locked in. Yes, that looks way better. Right now, that looks way better. You guys got 10 seconds. Hopefully you'll feel more. You should feel more here versus nothing here, like nothing in your low back, okay? In 3, 2, 1. All right. You guys can see the next movement coming up. This is one. It might mess with you a little bit, but don't let it, okay? It could be a really similar weight to the set that you just got done with. Similar, not same. Similar. We have a stiff leg deadlift. We're going to keep the legs straight, and we're working 2. So you're just going to hip hinge and then stand right back up. If we got that kettlebell, same thing. You're going to hinge and squeeze, bring that booty underneath you. If you're like, crap, I got to use a little bit lighter kettlebell for that one because I can't two-hand clean that same weight. You can generate more power with your speed. So you could hip hinge and then hinge, and you're going to get just as much work with a lighter weight, increasing that little powerful pull. Let's go ahead and start that stiff leg. So you got 8 of those. Hip hinge, squeeze the glutes. Hip hinge, squeeze the glutes. Very similar to doing your swing, only without swinging the kettlebell. After those 8, we're going to load again by softening the knees and popping that kettlebell up for your two-hand clean. Load, pop it up. Load, pop it up. At this point, you should be really feeling those butt cheeks. Then it doesn't matter how big the kettlebell is. Because that next move, you're just going to put your hand on it. 8 push-ups right, 8 push-ups left. Push-ups put me in the yellow this morning. 8 and 8. Take your time with those. It's a lot. After your 8 and 8, you're going to come back to your feet, go back to that stiff leg deadlift. If you want to adjust your weight, adjust it now. After your 8 stiff leg, take that weight. You're going to 2-hand clean it for 8. No one says how fast you have to go. You can take your time with every single rep. Nice job, Lauren. You can take your time with all 8. Good. Then we're going down to the ground for those push-ups. 8 elevated on the right, 8 elevated on the left. If you feel any tightness through that low back as you're doing your push-ups, drop to your knees. Get range of motion. Woo! Excellent push-ups, Leanne. Nice and strong. Good, Tony. Way to control it. Nice work, Haristo. Way to get after your next set, Matt. Yeah. We have less than 60 seconds to work through this set. I know it is a challenging set. No one's telling you how many times you have to do it. I just want quality reps each and every time. There's that 30-second beeper for anyone who's face down. We got about 20 seconds left. Kicking your own butt on that set. Said you're kicking your own butt on that set. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Great news. We have 2 more sets like this. Then our very last set is going to be core work. We will use a kettlebell for that work. So in this set, we got a high pull thruster. Again, think about your weight. You're probably going to base it off your skull crusher. That one got me. Okay, so it is a high pull thruster. You need to be very mindful of this one because you're going to hip hinge and you're going to pull that kettlebell from the ground each time. So it is a high pull, which means that kettlebell comes up, pops in, elbows pop out, and then you drive it all the way back down to the ground. Pop down into plank, come back up, butt down, head up, high pull. You got 5 of those. Then chest, then pull over to a close grip chest press, and then your skull crusher. Pull over to a close grip, and then skull crusher. You start with your high pull thruster. So be mindful as you drive up and control it down. If you have a big enough kettlebell, you can keep your hands on the handle if you want. Now when you take that kettlebell to the pullover, keep your ribs locked in like you're hanging on a pull-up bar. Pull the kettlebell over, tuck the elbows in, close grip chest press. Pull over to close grip for 5. Then 10 skull crushers, which is a tricep extension on your back. Yep. Once you finish that set, shake it out. Come to your feet. Decide if you had the right weight choice. My elbows made me drop down. How you doing, Tony? Okay. If at any point we need to take that high pull out, you're going to do an upright row back down to the ground. You can take this swing out and just do an upright row. Otherwise, butt down, head up before you touch the kettlebell though. Drop down. Now when you go to your plank, do it. Go to your plank. Now pop forward, butt down, head up. There you go. Yep. Yeah, so a high pull, it's actually like a hinge and a swing and your elbows pop out. Yeah, so you can't go light and like you can't go slow and you can't go light. So it is challenging because like that's not the most perfect weight for you because you do have power. So you'll swing it, and what happens is kettlebell comes up, you pull the elbows and shoulder blades back. The kettlebell belly is going to float right here, and when it comes close, you're going to punch it back away, but you're going to punch him all the way to the ground. Okay. But because we're using like a medium light weight and you have power, he's going to feel a little bit out of control up here. So ideally, if we go a little bit heavier, he's just going to float, and then you're going to push him right back away from you, and he's not going to feel out of control. Yeah, no. You were doing it right. But if that power move doesn't go right, you can just slow it down and take the swing out and do an upright row. Yep. 11:45. We have slightly over a minute. That's good, Megan. Slightly over a minute to keep working through this set. This set was a really challenging one for me because I happen to have a little flare in the tendonitis in my elbow. So skull crusher was a tough one. How you doing? I had to. The skull crusher was tearing up my elbow. I had to. Maybe you should bring a towel. Oh, you're just not using it. Oh, fair. Okay. I mean, you don't need one to shower anymore, so you might as well just walk out of here with it soaking wet. You guys got 30 seconds. Last 20. Find where you're at. Finish your rep count. Finish strong. You got 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right. So this is our last set on our feet. And the beauty of this one is whatever pair you can chest press. That's the only thing you got to think about. Okay. So for this one, it is body weight side lunges. You're going to do 20 of them. You can go stationary or you can add a step. 20 total, 10 right, 10 left. Then you'll go down to the ground. You're going to pick your favorite chest press weight. We'll get ourselves set for our chest press. And then you're going to lift into a hip bridge. Hold your bridge strong. And then you have 10 chest press. After that, we're going to our double leg drop. So dropping those heels down and pulling back up. If that doesn't feel quite right, you can do one leg at a time. We're starting with side lunges. Here we go. I meant to tell you when you came in that your grooming looks very nice. You can tell when someone got their beard done. Yes. So really take the time in these side lunges now that we've done all this weight loaded work and I'm having you do those side lunges non-weighted. Really pay attention. How does the hip feel? Not just the inside of the joint, but how's the back side of your hip feel? How's your glute feel? What about your knees? So lift those hips after you get your weights. Lift those hips. Activate the glutes and the hamstring. And then go into your chest press. So just lift and hold. Hold, now press. Chest press. You want to lift and hold that hip bridge through all 10 reps. If at any point you need to rest, drop that booty rest and then pick it back up. Nice. If you guys want to keep holding your kettlebells up for your double leg drop, you can. I did not use 35s, so. Our first 2 minutes of this set is down. We got just under 3 left. Back to those side lunges. I have so much mobility stuff to share with everyone. I don't want to overwhelm anyone over the next 10 weeks. So I went through it all with my team last night and they're like, okay, I love it all. And I'm like, I know this is the one you're going to gravitate towards. So I'll try to split it up and just introduce a little bit each time we do it. But you'll enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah. How you feeling? Better now? How you doing, Matt? How's it work getting those two up? I mean, getting it in position without ripping out your elbow. I know. So there, you're supposed to roll into it. Oh, there, you got it. Yeah. You're supposed to roll into it. You set one on your side and rack, and you roll to pick it up, and then you roll to pick the other one up. This is how we're supposed to do it. Nice. All right, 11:45. You guys are down to about 1:15. Good job. We got less than 60 seconds left. Side lunges, chest press with a bridge hold, and double leg drops. Pretend you got something between your knees and you're trying to squeeze. No, not your feet. Just pretend you're trying to squeeze something with your knees. There you go. Now hold there. Yep. Put resistance against my 2 fingers. Right there. Now press. Good, sir. Last 10 seconds. We have earned our reward and made it to the last set in 3, 2, 1. We do get to play on the ground from here on out, but you will use a light kettlebell. If you decide that at any point using a kettlebell is not right for you right now, do the movements without a kettlebell. Okay, so we have a kettlebell sit up for 5. Then we have a Russian twist. For this one, I actually find I get more value keeping my feet down, tipping back, and then working on a big range of motion here. Okay, you got 10 of those. Then reverse plank march. You're going to lift into a reverse plank. If you can lengthen your legs out and dig your heels in, that's what I want. Then knee to chest. Okay, 20 of those. Then you'll flip yourself over and count a 30-second high plank. Sit up. Here we go. Like I said, you don't have to use a kettlebell for any of these moves. So here in that Russian twist, I'm trying to make sure that my legs are stationary and my hips are stationary. Ooh, that might hurt. If I ran at all, I would not be able to do that. Like at all. All right, guys, reverse plank. It is brutal on your butt and your hamstring. If it is too much, I don't want you to lift with your back. So just flatten out your feet. Relieve some of the tension, knee to chest. Okay, just relieve tension. Add tension as your body will let you. We're at 3:30. Those of you who are planking. $320. $310. Here's that 3-minute mark. Then we flip it over and we go back to the top. Once you get to your 30 seconds, looks like everyone's flipped. Go back to the top with those sit-ups. You have really nice control, Becca. Try to put your heels down for me and think about looking over your shoulder when you twist. Big twist. Good. Now keep that nice control that you had in that lower body when you do that. Good. I want less work in your leg and I want more work in this twist piece. All right. You got great control, so you're ready to work on that piece of it, okay? How you doing there, girl? Scoot your butt back a little bit when you do it. Put your hands closer to your hips and lift straight up. So keep your shoulders over. So roll your shoulders back and keep them stacked right over. So so when you came up, you went like this. And then when you went to lift, you pulled back. Watch my arms. So you started like this and you lifted, but then when you went to straighten out, you did that, okay? I want you to stay back here and straighten out. Scoot your shoulders back. I know. Yep. So back your body up just a little bit. Not your hands. Don't move your hands. Push yourself back this way. Now lift yourself straight up. Like lift your butt straight up. Pull your butt back. Back here, back here, back here, back here. There. Okay? So you're going to feel more of an opening here instead of a stress on it. Like you're thinking about lifting your butt up and forward. I just want you to lift your butt straight up. Yeah. So like when you sit down, like how you're sitting right now, I literally just want you to lift your butt straight up first. So straight up. You came forward a little bit. You did. Guys, we're down to that last 10. Way to work, 11:45. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. I wonder if it's something to do with your upper body, not necessarily like the back side or anything. It's really just getting used to having this chest open and like kind of not even strengthening up this side, but just opening this. So we have a history of doing so much pushing that we're really, really strong in our front. And when we get strong, these things kind of pull and they tend to pull us forward. So then anytime we want to try to stretch this out and open it out, another thing that helps us keep this open is really working on any of our back work. So when we do rows, like they're the yin to the yang to kind of help pull these shoulders back and stand tall. So it could be a little bit of that, and it could literally. Yeah, for sure. So if you just think about this part is opening the shoulders up, and then when you pick up, lift your butt straight up, like that. And then these guys stay stacked, and it puts less strain on your joints. Stacks everything so they feel strong, but then the work moves into different places. It's not as stressful on joints. Yeah. All right, 11:45. Excellent job today. Way to take the challenge of using the same weight for each move. I know that's kind of hard sometimes, and you guys did fantastic.